Today, we will be discussing opening and closing ranks, guide rules, and platoon movements at close and normal interval. Some of the movements executed in this presentation are performed at less than 120 steps per minute for instructional purposes. Before we continue, let's introduce a new element of command. We have learned preparatory commands and commands of execution. The third element is the supplementary commands, which are preparatory commands and commands of execution given by the squad leaders when the platoon commander gives commands that all squads are not required to execute in the same manner. The first commands we are going to discuss are the commands to open and close ranks. They are only given in line. The command to open ranks is open ranks. March.
Open ranks. March.
This movement is executed in 4 counts. The first squad is the base for the movement. On the command of execution, march, and for counts 1 and 2, the guide and the first squad take 2 30-inch steps forward. For the count of 3, they bring their left heel beside and on line with the right heel and execute halt. At the count of 4, they execute dress right, dress. The guide lowers the guidon before executing dress right, dress. They will remain in this position until given another command. The second squad on the command of execution, march, for the count of 1, takes 1 30-inch step forward. For the count of 2, they will bring the heel of their right foot forward and place it beside and on line with the left heel. On the count of 3, they will execute dress right, dress. They will remain in this position until given another command. The third squad on the command of execution, march, will execute dress right, dress for the count of 1. They will remain in this position until given another command. The platoon commander steps off as in marching to the first squad, halts facing aft, and faces right to check the alignment. The platoon commander repeats the same movements of stepping off as in marching, halting, and facing to check alignment of the second and third squads. After verifying alignment of all squads, the platoon commander steps off as in marching to the front, halts 3 paces past the first squad, faces left, and commands, ready, front, cover.
Ready, front, cover.
If the platoon is to be inspected, the platoon commander takes 1 pace forward, centering on the guide, faces right, and awaits the arrival of the inspecting officer. The command close ranks march is given from the same position from which the platoon was commanded ready front and is only given from open ranks. At the command of execution, the first squad stands fast. The second squad takes 1 pace forward, and squad 3 takes 2 paces forward. The second and third squad cover on the first squad and remain at the position of attention. Next, let's talk about some additional rules for the guide. As we have already seen, the guide's normal post is right. In line, the guide is right of the first squad leader. And in column, the guide is in front of the third squad leader. In column, when it is desired to guide left, the command guide left is given. At the command of execution, the guide and platoon commander exchange positions. The guide crosses between the commander and the platoon. The command guide right returns the guide and the platoon commander to their normal positions. Once again, the guide passes between the platoon and the platoon commander. When a platoon in line is given the command right face, the guide executes the command with the platoon and immediately faces right as in marching. The guide then marches to a position in front of the right squad leader, halts, and faces left. If the platoon is given the command left face, the guide executes the command with the platoon, but does not change position within the platoon. When a platoon in column is given the command column of files from the left,
Column of files from the left.
on the preparatory command, the guide takes position in front of the left squad leader in order to be at the head of the column.
Column of twos from the left.
Forming a column of twos from a column of threes is the next movement we will learn. It can be done from the left or the right. We will demonstrate it from the left. The movement begins with the platoon in a column at the position of attention. This movement begins with the preparatory command, column of twos from the left.
Column of twos from the left.
At the preparatory command, the first and second squad leaders in unison give the supplementary command, forward.
Forward.
Then the third squad leader, in the same manner, gives the supplementary command, column of twos to the right.
Column of twos to the right.
At the command of execution march, the first and second squad step off to their front and continue to march until given another command. The third squad leader stands fast. All even-numbered members turn half right, as in marching, and take two 30-inch steps. At the end of the second step, they pivot on the ball of the right foot and execute a column half left, and continue to march until abreast of the odd-numbered person originally to their front and execute halt. The odd-numbered members march to the front until they obtain a 40-inch interval from the odd-numbered person in front of them and execute a halt. As the third to the last person in the column comes abreast, the third squad leader gives the preparatory command, column half left.
Column half left.
When the last member of the column comes abreast and this member's right foot strikes the deck, the third squad leader gives the command of execution, march.
March.
Immediately after stepping off to the right, as in marching, the third squad leader gives the supplementary command, column half right, as the right foot first strikes the deck.
Column half right.
The second time the left foot strikes the deck, the squad leader gives the command of execution, march.
March.
The remainder of the squad march forward and then execute column half right and column half left, using the same pivot points as the person in front of them. The squad leader and the person to the right cover on the first and second squads and maintain a 40-inch distance. The entire platoon continues to march until given another command. Now let's reform into a column of threes. The movement can be performed to the right or left. We will demonstrate to the right. At the preparatory command, column of threes to the right,
Column of threes to the right.
the first and second squad leaders give the supplementary command, stand fast.
Stand fast.
The third squad leader gives the supplementary command, column of files from the left, column half right.
Column of files from the left. Column half right.
At the command of execution, march,
March.
the first and second squads stand fast. The third squad leader will step off to the right, as in marching, and immediately give the command column half left as the left foot strikes the deck for the first time.
Column half left.
As the left foot strikes the deck the second time, the squad leader gives the command of execution, march,
March.
and executes the column half left. When the squad leader has taken 3 steps, the number 2 and 3 person will step off to the right, as in marching. Number 2 takes 2 steps, executes a column half left, and covers on the squad leader. Number 3 takes 4 steps, executes a column half left, and covers on number 2. The remainder of the squad follow in 2-step intervals. When on line with the first rank of the first and second squads, the third squad leader gives the command, mark time, march.
My time. March.
After 4 counts, which gives the remainder of the squad time to obtain the proper dress, the third squad leader gives the command, squad, halt.
Squad. Halt.
Next, let's talk about close and extend interval. The movement may be executed on line or in a column. If on line, the platoon must be halted. The commands are close, march, and extend, march. First, let's close interval with the platoon on line at the halt. The command is close, march.
Close, march.
At the command of execution, the guide simply steps off to the left, as in marching, and takes one 30-inch step, halts, faces to the original front, and obtains proper interval and dress on the first squad leader. At the command of execution, the squad leaders stand fast. They furnish interval to the person to their left by raising their left arm and placing the heel of their hand on their hip. The fingers are extended and joined, and the thumb is along the forefinger, with fingers pointing toward the deck, with the elbow in plane with the body. The remaining members of the platoon step off to the right as in marching, taking 30-inch steps, and continue to march until a 4-inch interval is obtained. Then they halt, face the original front, and provide interval to the person on their left, and turn their heads and eyes to the right, dressing on the squad leader. They will align themselves by moving up or back. Proper interval is determined when the arm of the person on the left lightly touches the elbow of the person on the right. When interval is obtained, they smartly and quietly lower their left arm, and at the same time turn their heads and eyes smartly to the front. Assume the position of attention, and remain there until given another command. Now let's extend the interval. The commands are extend, march.
Extend.
The guide, at the command of execution, steps off to the right as in marching, takes one 30-inch step, faces the original front, obtains proper interval and dress, and lowers the guidon to the deck. The squad leaders are the base for this movement. At the command of execution, they provide interval to the person to their left by extending their left arm laterally to shoulder height. The fingers of their left hand are extended and joined, thumb along the forefinger, palm facing the deck. They remain in this position until the person to their left has achieved the proper interval. Then they smartly lower their left arm to the side and assume the position of attention. The remainder of the platoon steps off to the left, as in marching, and continues to march until obtaining approximate interval. They then halt, face the original front, obtain the proper interval and dress, smartly lower their left arm to the side, and assume the position of attention.
Stop moving.
Now let's close and extend while in a column. The commands are the same: close march and extend march. The third squad is the base for this movement. At the command of execution, march, the third squad stands fast. The second squad takes two 12-inch right steps to close to the right and cover in file. They remain in this position until given another command. The first squad takes four 12-inch right steps to close to the right and cover in file. They remain in this position until given another command. To extend the interval, the third squad is again the base. At the command of execution, march, they stand fast. The second squad takes two 12-inch left steps, dressing to the right and covering in file. They remain in this position until given another command. The first squad takes four 12-inch left steps, dressing to the right and covering in file. They remain in this position until given another command. We can also execute these commands at quick time. The commands are the same: close march and extend march. First, let's close the interval. The third squad is again the base for this movement. At the command of execution, march, the guide and third squad take one more 30-inch step and commence half step until given the commands forward, march. The second squad takes one more 30-inch step, then pivots on the ball of the left foot, taking one 30-inch step in the right oblique, pivots on the ball of the right foot, and executes forward march. They continue to march until they come abreast of the third squad, then commence half step until given the command forward march. The first squad takes one more 30-inch step and pivots on the ball of the left foot and takes 3 steps in the right oblique. After the third step, they pivot on the ball of the right foot, executing forward march. They continue to march until they come abreast of the second and third squads and then commence half step until given the command forward march. When the command forward march is given, the entire platoon steps off at quick time. Now let's extend the interval at quick time. If the guide is right, the command of execution is given on the left foot. The third squad is the base for the movement. At the command of execution march, they take one more 30-inch step and commence half step until given the command forward march. The second squad takes one more 30-inch step with their right foot. Their next step is a 30-inch step to the left oblique to extend the interval. At the end of that step, they execute forward march and continue to march until they come abreast of the third squad. Then they commence half step until given the command forward march. The first squad takes one more 30-inch step and then pivots, taking 3 30-inch steps in the left oblique. At the end of the third step, they execute forward march and continue to march until they come abreast of the second and third squads. They then commence half step. They continue to half step until the command forward march terminates the movement for the entire platoon. In this second presentation on platoon drill, we have learned how to open and close ranks. We have discussed some guide rules for platoon drill, and we have seen platoon movements at close and normal interval. In our final presentation on platoon drill, we will talk about changing the formation